Hey, welcome to Locust Digital Photography Program. I am Darron. Today we're going to be getting into 5 tips to make your photographs better right now. So let me get this out of the way. It's very easy to get caught up in the what camera should I buy, what lens should I use, how many megapixels does this thing have, and while all those things are important in their own way for their own reasons, alone they don't make a good photograph. At its core, photography's basic language has never really changed. One of the principles that helps us communicate in our photos is composition. Composition is the arrangement of things inside of your photo and how they relate to each other. It helps us express the point of a photograph and gives you the ability to guide your viewer's attention where you want it by highlighting or emphasizing what the actual subject of the photograph is. That overall creates a stronger picture no matter what. Clarity in the communication in this art form is really the point. And although these are guidelines, sometimes you can break them, but you have to understand them to be able to break them correctly. So let's get into that. Okay, so number 1, rule of thirds. The general idea is you section your image off into 3 sections up and down, making 9 boxes. And at the cross section of each box, or at the intersection of those lines, up or down, is where you would place the subject of your image. The rule of third is a common and actually very powerful rule of composition. It adds interest and depth inside of any of your photos. So rather than placing your important elements in the center, you move them slightly off to the side to align with one of the lines that have sectioned your image into thirds. This works well with landscapes and people. For landscapes, it's good for separating your horizon line where the sky meets the land. For people, it's great for adding dramatic interaction between the subject person and the actual background itself. So next we have leading lines, one of my favorites. It's a compositional technique that allows you to guide the viewer's eye along a set of lines, imposed, imaginary or otherwise, to the subject of your actual image. You can use anything like railroads, crosswalks, vanishing lines of streets, even the shadows that come off of houses and buildings sometimes. There's even ways you can break the rule by using the rule, by leading your subject completely off of the frame in and of itself. This is one of my favorite because it gives you a lot of control over highlighting your subject, making sure the impact goes where you want it to go inside of your photo. Next up, we have framing. Framing is one of those overlooked ideas. Very easy to find in your surroundings if you just look for them. A frame in the frame emphasizes your subject, and people's eyes are instinctively drawn to them. You can use anything from natural elements like architecture, a window, a doorway, lights and shadows, nature itself. The possibility is really endless, and once you're aware of it, you start seeing it happen naturally everywhere. Coming up next, filling the frame. You may not imagine something so simple would be as impactful as it is, but by filling the frame, you add impact instantly. By excluding extra clutter, you actually make your image more dynamic. As a side effect, you also lose a sense of scale. So, last but not least, is contrast. Simple, and comes in a lot of different forms. Our eyes are drawn to contrast, such as objects that are brighter or darker than the rest of the image. This can be done with literal lights and shadows, or colors, or size. But things that appear as oddballs to the things that are around them create contrast and visual weight that brings the viewer's eye to that point. Now you got 5 ways to make your photographs instantly better. Keep these things in mind. They are tools for your toolkit, language, words, ideas to better communicate what you're actually trying to get across when you make photographs. So with those techniques now in your toolbox, I want you to go out there and try to make better images.
I like this.